Otautahi Cup, and we are saving the best weather to last on the first day of hockey action here at Ngā Punawai. And the cloud cover has burnt away and the sun has burst through. Lights still on, of course, but this match between Otago and the Canterbury Beavers in the men's component of Otautahi 2021. And we are all set for a start in these two teams. Joining me in commentary, Emile Collins. So the goalkeeper's on duty for this match. And looking at the two teams, the Port Hills in the background, the Otago men. Emile, talk us through this.
Oh, absolutely. Leslie, the Otago men, a little bit of a younger side, I think, similar to the one we saw earlier in the year at the Mainland Cup, also here at Ngā Punawai. A number of under-21 New Zealand representatives. Zach Mason, Hamish Van Dyke has been in that performance network as well. Zeke Bushell, another young player in this side. So a little bit of a younger side, but really quality hockey they will play today.
And the very experienced Taimi Gill, of course, coaching that team now for the Beavers.
The Beavers, again, just with the delays through COVID, they have had a number of call-ups, but they put out a younger side as well. The likes of Charlie Swan, Kyle Houston from the recent NZ18s camp here. You've got a wealth of Beavers experience, some older players such as Ben Owers and Scott Greed in there who'll be playing around the back, and a number of great club players in there as well from the Canterbury region.
So we'll expect a pretty competitive match then.
I think it will be. Talking to the Beavers this week down at training and some of the guys in the team, this is the game they've targeted as the game they want to win. So obviously the Cavaliers and Wellington sides putting out strong teams. So this game they've really targeted as one that they want to be competitive and try to get a winning result in.
Ben Grant and Sam Doran have got the whistle for this match. We're in pink and getting the fist pumps as well, so that's good to see. And Canterbury will go right to left on the screen and Otago left to right. And reasonably warm conditions as well. Temperature still sitting around about 16, 17 degrees, but no wind. That's the good news. So these two players, these two teams, all set to finish the first day. We've seen some really, really good, skillful hockey in the first three matches, and this one to finish the program between these two sides. And just great to be playing, Emile, isn't it? Just great to have representative hockey.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a long campaign, especially for the Canterbury teams who have enjoyed the privilege of being in Level 2 a little bit longer than some of the other regions in the country, but certainly a lot of training. And I know these boys, the Beavers, have been working hard, no breaks pretty much since they've got out of that second lockdown here in New Zealand. So fantastic stuff. And it looks like we will see Hamish Van Dyke getting the nod and goal here for Otago, and Fergus Lowen, the youngster for the Beavers. So we are underway here. Beavers starting with possession.
I imagine in games like this it's usually frantic in the opening few minutes as one team tries to exert the dominance over the other until it settles down and we can see a little bit of the structure that both teams will look to put on the turf.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we look at it here, Otago just settling it round, playing with a back three shape. So they'll look to utilise the outlet into the middle with just three players at the back. Long ball, forward, nothing at the end of that.
Just got to be so careful about those long balls, aren't you? And as a defender, not to let the players get in behind you. The attackers.
Absolutely, yeah. Sanjay Gandha, the Beavers coach, I'm sure will have a number of tactics. Both teams playing with the back three as well, so that marking and that holding in the zones becomes even more important when you play with less players around the back like that.
Oh, good steal and a chance early for Otago to get a shot away, and lovely low body position and great distribution too under pressure. That is fantastic. Canterbury now with a counter-attack.
Looking to work through Louis Heel on the far side. It was Callum McGregor at the back with the great clean-up and distribution of the ball. Ben Owers.
Here he is, Owers, great stalwart of Southern United. Done a good job. And really grown his hockey as well. Now for Otago, again, they have a very slippery, aren't they, and very quick.
Yeah, I do wonder if one of the themes of this game will be this very talented Otago front line with a number of young players in it, how they will look to attack.
Finn Ward has the ball and didn't like how he brought that ball in, the umpire. So up and away we go. Ben Grimshaw holding his own, but gets pulled because I don't think he was within 5 when the ball came down, which is what you've got to give them.
Settling down at the back now, Otago once again trying to find their outlets early. Always an important part when you slow the game down at the beginning. Figuring out that strike line press that Canterbury are running. I'm sure that's what they'll be trying to do right now at the back. Another ball forward.
Oh, nice work again at the back. Very composed, isn't it? Callum McGregor again. But it just touch a stick of a Canterbury player, so corner time for Otago. Going it wide, well read again, McGregor in the action. And holding his own, staying in the tackle as well, gets it right. What a great pass, just a little bit too much on it, but the right idea.
Yeah, the team's looking to throw balls over the top quite a bit today, especially out of the back. So that is definitely one way they'll try to negate a strong press that Otago are bringing right now for the Beavers. Ben Owers just going to recycle it back to Scott Greed.
McGregor again. Greed, good high school old boys stalwart. Coming through.
Bit of a whistle there, Leslie. But
big strong whistle.
Yeah.
You take notice of that. Oliver Bunny doing some good work for Canterbury out on that right flank. McGregor finds
Duncan Rollinson, I think that was, who wins the foot, and Callum McGregor will take the restart here from the sideline.
The speed of ball is so important as you try and stretch open the opposition. Trying to draw the players, find a hole like that. Oh, that was a tough tackle, wasn't it? Coming hard up onto him.
Yeah, that was Fletcher Edmund, I think, who got sat down there, but Beavers win the free hit and look to go again. Perhaps the difference we'll see from this game to some of the others is Otago a little bit known for the longer ball, the crash ball, and I'm sure a lot of these players on the Beavers will look to utilise the same type of attack as well.
Good hustle over there on the right flank, and a nice quick up and over. There's some strong, body challenges in there, aren't they? As both teams, both sets of players look to secure possession. They're not scared to hold back and go in hard.
Absolutely, yeah. Strong tackles, certainly from Otago. I think they will look to build from defence at the start of this game. Ben Owers carries forward, finds Liam Sharp cutting. Liam Sharp, great ball to get it away, but couldn't link up going forward there.
So a couple of promising attacks, one each for Otago and Canterbury. And Ben Owers in the middle. Coming over to the left now, he is. And a little change. Oh, he called leave, but Greed decided to have a ping at it. Kind of had to, really, with the player running behind him. Otago. Plenty of red shirts surrounding the ball carrier. Across field. Just the accuracy missing. And he calls it.
Yeah, that ball maybe a little wishful from Fletcher Edmund as he tried to link up with Charlie Swan, but again we see that aerial ball over the top. Dan Vowd now does well to close that attack down quickly.
That is so important, isn't it? The discipline around giving the 5 metres, because the reason it's there is for the safety when the ball's brought down from an overhead. Seen a couple of whistles on that now.
Yeah, definitely something that is quite a tough rule to umpire, but I'm sure match umpires today will do a good job of that and really play that rule tightly. Definitely something that, if not looked at carefully, can lead to cards later in a match. We've already seen that a bit this weekend. Charlie Swan, great work from him on the far side. But again, the tackling, Leslie, I think has been the strong point for both these teams, really not letting players carry the ball.
The other thing about not going in on that ball that's coming down, it's just so tempting, isn't it, to have a poke and have a go at it, but you just can't.
Especially when players are throwing it up there, whether it's long or short. The speed of the game, it really slows it down. It's not like a hard, sweet pass. It sort of hangs up in the air, so definitely can be challenging to keep discipline. And it's something that these teams seem to be very comfortable using, as we might see Scott Greed go with one there.
Oh, a bit of mix-up between the two Otago players then. But it's all good. They were just trying to seal it off before it got any further down into their defensive end. Greed comes up quickly, surveys the scene, goes in field, and again quickly back out to that left flank. Oh, that's really quick work.
Charlie Swan, that is one of the youngsters for the Beavers, as he'll fire one in. Nothing there though, and I think for the Beavers, Leslie, today, those young boys will be the difference maker. They're plenty of talent in those young fellas. So great to see them out there, great to see them added to a Beavers side that traditionally has been a bit of an older team for more social club players who want to play high-level hockey and have a good time. Some of the older boys in the CPL comp, but awesome to see a bit of a change in scenery, if you will, in the team this year.
And the fact that the players want to play.
Absolutely.
You know, that they want to push for positions up into the Cavaliers. That's the important thing. Get noticed by the national selectors. That's not a bad reason either.
Not at all. So I think we will see some big minutes from Scott Greed at the back. He has been a very experienced player for the Beavers. Played.
Great reader of the game. He's got the ball now out there on the right flank.
Goes to Kyle Houston, who will look to create on the far side. Wins a foot.
Pretty keen to get inside that circle and unleash. Going back and resetting up.
Yeah, the Beavers are well prepared. They've certainly trained hard, and they've had a couple preparation matches versus the Cavaliers, so they are not shy from this type of competition. As we look at it here, Leslie, as well, important to note that if NHC had gone ahead, these teams would have been Otago in Tier 1 and the Beavers in Tier 2, but at the moment, a very competitive match.
Absolutely it is. Well, if National Hockey League had gone ahead, you might have different players out there as well.
Yeah, I think this year was unique as well, with the Olympics sort of coinciding with the timing of the National Hockey Championship, so there were definitely a few more spots open for younger players to showcase their skills, which is awesome to see in a region that has a wealth of New Zealand players. Aidan Perry on the restart, he'll go to Scott Greed. So Sanjay keeping this back three fresh, plenty of subs already, but Scott Greed has not come off the pitch yet in that centre-back role. Dan Vowd goes forward, finds Ben Grimshaw, but couldn't control it on that Otago baseline.
Now you've got to have a few chances to get your footwork going the way you want it to be able to bring the ball back and control it where you want it to in order to get a decent shot away or pass to where it's going to benefit your team and put the most pressure on the defence. Now for Otago.
Great steal by Nicholson, working on Dan Vowd, the two under-21 players having a nice battle there.
Yeah, that's what you like to see, one-on-one.
Absolutely.
I'll talk about it after. I saw a very, very good match before this, the Otago women taking on basically what is the Canterbury Bee women, and going to a shootout. How nice it was to see the Black Sticks women, a couple of them playing in the Otago team.
Absolutely, a great weekend for hockey with a couple Black Sticks all across the teams taking place. The likes of Bradshaw and David Bryden for the Cavaliers.
Dane Lett for Wellington.
Dane Lett, yeah, absolutely. So good to see some of those guys wanting to play hockey into the summer months here in Canterbury.
Glorious conditions now.
Great ball over the top, switches the point of attack. But Otago, Leslie, pretty content just to hold the ball around the back. They don't seem to be in a rush to go forward or be the first one to get a goal in this game.
But they can turn it on. Either team can, when they get a sniff, get through and make the breakthrough, turn something into nothing, because they're so quick when they get inside that circle, knowing when just to pull off your defender and get in there and get a shot away or a touch.
Ollie Bunny looks to break free for the Beavers. Out on the far side. Ball forward. Can't link up.
Can link up now. They've got a couple of options. But Otago get back there in numbers.
Great ball forward to Dylan Thomas. Gets his head up.
He had to wait a bit for the cavalry to arrive. Lovely one-touch back too as well, wasn't it?
Great work from Duncan Rollinson, that was, as he finds club teammate Dan Vowd there. Both boys represent Avon in the Canterbury competition. And a chance here if Louis Hill has the legs, and he will.
This is fantastic running from him, because he was actually coming through the midfield looking for a pass, and then it didn't go where he thought.
Corner.
At penalty corner time, but Louis Hill, man, he steamed through that midfield. There was a miss ball for both the attacker and the defender, and he knew he could keep it in, and he did, and that's one of the reasons they've got this corner. So
Wonderful
what can we
work.
see? What are you expecting from the Beavers at this all-important penalty corner set-piece play?
The Beavers have a couple of options. As we talked about earlier, Kyle Houston can certainly flick, as well as Dan Vowd. But possibly, it looks here, we might see Duncan Rollinson have a flick. Number 18 for the Beavers. Ben Grimshaw will inject. So the Avon boys on the brackets for the Beavers here. Dan Vowd, Duncan Rollinson. And we will see where this one goes, Leslie.
Vowd in jersey 22. But it's not going to him, and catching it stick on the way through.
Well run down by Otago there. They got pressure on early. The drag possibly wasn't quite what it needed to be. And they'll get another result here from the restart. Another penalty corner for the Beavers. So
Second one.
absolutely. Haven't seen too many variations from the Beavers in the warm-up, so they might have another go here. They might give Dan Vowd an opportunity off the first bracket this time.
Well, you know, with it being so early in the match, do you give the bracket to have another go? Do you, try and get a little bit of momentum going for it, or do you change it? You've got to keep, the defence have to try and choose what they're going to do. You as a goalkeeper would know that. What's going through the goalkeeper's head?
Oh, absolutely. I think we'll probably see them stay the same, and they will. Someone broke early,
Yeah,
but
so that they'll
very
lose a
challenging.
player, will they?
They will.
Yep.
Someone will go back to halfway. Looks like it'll be Ben Grimshaw there. Possibly had a little movement before the drag, so Corey Patterson, I believe, will step in to inject.
Normally you would see a defensive player could have break it from the baseline, but it's been a...
Patterson to inject. Goes to Rollinson again, the flick. Well defended, but clipped a foot on the way through. So, yes, Leslie, it did look like they are sticking with Duncan there, but we'll have to see if they go for a variation now at the third time of asking.
Well, that's the interesting thing. Will they persist with what they've got, or will they change and keep that defensive unit guessing? Let's have a look.
Vowd that time.
Poor finish at the top, but shot away nonetheless, and a free hit out for the defence. So well mopped up by Otago.
And it seems possibly Ben Grimshaw getting sent back to halfway there. The drags didn't quite link up with the brackets at the top, so possibly costly there. And Otago look to go quickly now from the retake. Strong carry here, ball forward, finds Dylan Thomas, shot away. And keeping that one out was
Oh, that's
Fergus
great
Lowen.
skill. Oh, that is really good work in the top of the circle.
Dylan Thomas that was, who had the shot, and Fergus Lowen, a strong right foot to keep that one away.
But even the area ball being brought down right on the circle edge, that could have been really tricky for the defender, which I think was Fletcher Edmund.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen so much play up in the air today. It's almost contrasting from the other matches we've seen before, but
because that's a delicate thing. That's what we've already talked about that. I mean, that ball was well high in the air. It didn't endanger anyone, but it could have if they'd incurred in that 5 metre area.
Absolutely. Beavers pressing again from this corner. Charlie Swan on the ball. Couldn't get into the D there. Great tackling from Otago. It is the modern game, Leslie, as one goes over the top here. Controlled by Aidan Perry, but those 3D skills, that ability to manipulate the ball in the air is something that we're seeing in this modern era.
Absolutely. It is 0-0, and the first 15 and has gone really fast. The final match on day one of Otautahi 2021, Otautahi Cup. It is the Otago men 0, Canterbury Beavers 0. Second quarter about to start. Beautiful conditions. Canterbury Beavers on the right and Otago. It has been a deadlock so far, 0-0 after the first 15. And both sides, Emil Collins, have had opportunities, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. I think the Beavers there with that flurry of penalty corners at the end of the first quarter probably have had the better of this match, but we'll see how this turns out. Rollinson looks to create, but nothing there. And I'm sure Otago now will be trying to win a penalty corner of their own as they go forward off a turnover in the middle.
Zach Mason was 10 and here he gets the ball back for Otago and will have the whistle against him as well. The ball rolling up onto his body. And they're advancing and he gets a green card for dissent. So he's off. Number 10 for Otago, Zach Mason.
Yeah. Emotions high, but you can't afford to cost a team a player down in a match like this, especially when the Beavers are looking to go forward.
It shows you the intensity of the game, though, and how much it means to the players.
Absolutely.
They're so happy to be playing. And we have to give so much kudos to Otago, Canterbury and Wellington and Hockey NZ for making sure Canterbury hockey as well, that it got underway.
Absolutely. It's been a great first day to the weekend. We've got plenty more matches tomorrow. Unfortunately not on the skysportnext channel. Otago will win a penalty corner there. That one rolled onto the foot of Aidan Perry, it looks like. So again, we look at these Otago weapons on the penalty corner bracket. We may see James Nicholson, a under-21 striker and flicker, or we may see one of the Ward brothers, Jordan, but we'll have to see here. Looks like James and Jordan will be up there.
Finn Ward to inject from the baseline.
James Nicholson, number 13 there, on bracket 2, and Jordan Ward on bracket 1. Looks like it.
Who's it going to, Ward or Nicholson?
Goes to Ward. Trap wasn't controlled, shot away.
Stroke. Hit the defender. Posty, was it Scott Greed?
I think it was, Leslie.
Yep, and got him and stopped a sure goal. And These are really difficult to defend unless the stroke taker gets it horribly wrong. It should be a goal. Jordan Ward steps up. It looks like he's going to be the stroke taker.
Fergus Lowen did a good job to get a foot to it, but deflected it into his teammate's body there. Scott Greed on the line, so Jordan will take this stroke.
Gee, the goalkeeper fills it up, doesn't he? But look at that for precision, right at bottom right of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, great placement there from Jordan Ward. As we look at the replay here, Leslie, just slight body feint and slips that one, sends the keeper the wrong way. Perfectly executed stroke. So the Beavers now, after a great set of play in the first quarter, find themselves down 1-0 off a Jordan Ward goal. But Otago quickly now advance. Ball forward, finding...
Oh, that's it. Should be a, I would have thought a free out for
Canterbury. And we may see...
they might just need to adjust the goal, is it? They pushed that out of shape, make sure it's sitting in the right place. Yep. Gee, that was terrific defending, wasn't it?
It was a great ball forward, but Callum McGregor does a fantastic job there. And that ball entering the circle.
Gee, tough where the sun is as well. I mean, it's ambitious,
Yeah,
throwing it up into the air. It's asking a lot of the person who's going to bring it down.
They go through Rollinson again. He's taken out
It's a
by
bit late. Not on purpose, I don't think.
Dylan Thomas, just missing.
Poor execution. But there's plenty on this game, people. You can, the intensities, a couple of rough tackles in there now. 1-0 though. Penalty stroke Otago leads. Second quarter.
And as we look at it now, Sanjay briefly getting his team to drop into a back four here with Ben Owers playing a little more defensive, but plenty of space to come forward now through Zach Mason.
See, when they attack Otago, they attack so quickly, don't they? They come up and they just support play the ball carrier.
Absolutely. Speed is the name of the game, Leslie, especially at this higher level, and I'm sure Otago will look to take every bit of space they're given by this Beavers side. So they'll settle it down through Jordan Ward at the back now.
The talking's intensified out there. Great ball speed from the middle. Things you take for granted, but it's just so good to watch how they execute their exit ball, distribute it further.
Scott Greed once again over the top.
Just so easy, isn't it? Looks so easy for them, and it's not an easy skill.
It is something that definitely develops a little bit later for many players. Not something you really see until the high school years for a lot of players. It requires a lot of strength and coordination, the aerial ball. Ben Owers, a great trap on his reverse there, and finds Charlie Swan, the youngster. Couldn't link up there, pressured right away. So the Beavers now, Ben Owers in the middle, just looking to organise things a little bit more, maybe play with some of that structure we've seen Otago use today, Leslie.
Yep. Certainly the talking has increased and they're barking out the orders, especially Ben Owers for the Beavers. And they're wanting the players to really stick to their game plan. Oh, great hassle for Canterbury out on that right flank. What can he do with it?
Yeah, the Beavers looking to change the point of attack now. Try that right side. Charlie Swan will roll and find Vowd. Back to Greed, but he's got to look out for Nicholson here, the high striker, who wins a little position for Otago, now charges forward.
Oh, it's a race now. Getting back in numbers are Canterbury, the shot. Oh, wow. That is a goal. That is goal number 2 for Otago. Seemingly innocuous ball in a very acute angle. And the pat on the helmet says it all, really.
It was just an interesting play, an interesting passage of play there from James Nicholson. Seagulling up the field and then coming back to win the ball off Scott Greed, and then carried down and just fired one. Didn't look like he got a hold of it, Leslie, but those bobbly ones, I'll tell you as a keeper, those bobbly ones...
Hardest to defend, aren't they?
Can be very challenging.
Yeah.
So the Beavers will be kicking themselves about that one, I'm sure.
Well, the Otago team will be rewarded for their enterprise, though, that they are 2-0 ahead. They're into the second quarter. First of all, a stroke by Jordan Ward. Now, Nicholson has got one past the keeper, as they say.
And the Beavers now, Leslie, are just going to have to find a way to produce some results in the circle like they did in the first quarter. They've been shut out thus far, and Otago's looked a little more comfortable. They've built position at the back, and now they seem to find channels to go forward with a higher frequency than they did in the first quarter.
A chance for Canterbury to have some time on the ball, but they give the ball back after just receiving it.
Carry into a couple of red shirts there, and they will win a free hit. Sanjay Ganda starting to bark orders on the sideline. I'm sure he'll be trying to get the troops back into this match.
Well, you'd be used to hearing him. I thought it was the players, but it's Sanjay, is it?
Oh, absolutely. He loves to be vocal on the sideline. I'm sure everyone in Canterbury who's played club with him knows.
Passionate.
Passionate man.
Good man, yep. It's taken quickly in the midfield. Who's out there wide? And they get the ball across.
Grimshaw whiffed on it, and it will be a free hit there for Otago.
There he is. The man himself, we're just talking about him. He's done well with all his age group representative sides and done really well with Hornby, hasn't he?
Yeah, Hornby are a young team. He's added a lot of young talent to that side, some playing today for the Beavers, but he's really built that club into a threatening team in the CPL comp over a number of years, and certainly everything he's done for the Beavers, Leslie, he's really built a great culture as Otago go forward. Dylan Thomas now enters from that far side. Ball across. So Otago continue to be the controllers of this quarter as they go forward.
Oh, that might be a corner. Yep. Rough tackle. 2-on-1. Could hear the clash. They're going to challenge, but I don't think he's going to change his mind, and they just have to get on with it and don the protective equipment.
And now it looks like possibly both of Otago's flickers, Jordan and James, are off the pitch, Leslie, so we may see a variation here or someone else step up for the straight shot.
Who's up there? Is that 7 or 17?
Looks like...
At the top, tall figure, out to the left as we look at it. It has to be so precise, everything about it. From this inject here to the stop at the top. At goal, oh, good save.
Great goalkeeping there from Fergus Lowen, Leslie. Just gets the fingertips on that with the left hand.
Just redirected it almost, didn't he? But it was going at a fair rate of knots.
Otago just seemed confident here to keep going with their straight deliveries off the drag flick. But as this game opens up, we may see some variations. Ball into the circle now. Well defended by Scott Greed.
Yeah, he got in front of the attacker, didn't he? He had to do that because they can't afford to go down another one. So there's a little bit more on every tackle in that defence.
That is the challenge of the sport. That 3-goal lead is almost insurmountable at times, especially as we tick inside 5 minutes in this first half. So we'll see what they can build. Louis Hill playing now in the midfield for Canterbury. Sanjay looking to change a couple players around, possibly find a lineup that works a little better today.
I mean, it's interesting. The second quarter has not as free running as that first one so far. And as you said, under 5 minutes to go, Canterbury just haven't been able to get their possession going because Otago have controlled it. But this is a great little run through
Ollie Bunny,
midfield.
that is, I think, carrying
He's
there.
been good.
But Otago again just able to dominate the tackle zone.
Oh, that might have hurt.
So they continue
I think
to
he's given it the other way.
Ben Grant will slow things down here and confirm his decision.
He originally gave it the other way. He's given it back, and it's the correct way. I would have thought lifted into the player.
So McGregor now with the one layer to Louis Hill. And Kyle Houston quickly takes it into Ben Owers.
Oh, he's so good, isn't he? So clever. He certainly knows how to hold the ball, confident to win his one-on-one, his elimination.
Absolutely. And Ben Owers, not too long ago, around the Canterbury Hockey office, we saw him in a moon boot. So he was questionable a few weeks ago, Leslie, but loves his hockey and he wanted to be out here today. So playing through a little bit of injury. Great keeping there again from Fergus as he boots that one away with the left foot.
Came off his line this time and didn't wait for where that second goal that went in. He will have to not think about that. He's moved on from there. He's made a couple of good saves, a hand save, and now that one. But it is 2-0 to Otago. They've got plenty of go forward and plenty of gas with it.
Ball lifted in. That won't do.
It's kind of a crazy thing to do, I think, down there. But anyway.
And as Grant Edwards said in the Cavaliers team talk, the crowds won't want to be out here today and this weekend to watch 0-0 draws. He wanted exciting hockey, and we are getting it across all these games, Leslie.
Yep, we sure have been treated to some great hockey in the opening 3 matches and this one nearly at half-time. It is Otago, though, with the ascendancy, 2-0 up.
Triple team there from the Beavers, but Otago again work out of it. Now carry forward in the midfield. Jared Casey, that was, evading the swarming tackle.
I'll tell you what, Charlie Swan's doing a heck of a lot of running, trying to get the ball back for Canterbury, but the strength in this Otago side, Jordan Ward particularly, wearing shirt 24, he's already scored the stroke. He's down in the back and he is an anchor and a rock for them.
Zeke Bushell turns it over to Charlie Swan on that far side.
There he is, Jordan Ward. Bobbly ball, difficult to trap sometimes. Just in the midfield now.
Rollinson double teamed but wins the free hit. And this Beavers lineup, Leslie, a lot of players playing out of position from where they normally would be in club, but I think that's a strong suit of their team. They're an interchangeable lineup. We've seen players like Ben Owers move from the back all the way up into the attacking midfield, so plenty of versatility in this team.
Well, you've got to be able to play multiple positions, especially when you play rep hockey, don't you? You've got to be able to fit in to the coach's plan. Out there on the right flank now. Some mesmerising skill.
Ball forward, cleaned up easily though. And Otago will punch that to safety. Make some metres on that clear.
Last 30 seconds of the first half coming up.
Don't think we will look to see the Beavers go too forward here, Leslie, down 2-0. I think they'll just take their losses and see what they can come up with at half-time. But Vowed over the top. And Jordan Ward wins that free hit and he'll go back the other way.
Coming up to half-time, there it is, the hooter. 2 goals. Stroke first by Jordan Ward, and then James Nicholson capitalising on some great play. High on the left, got one past the Canterbury keeper, and that made it 2. And that is how we see the first 2 quarters, half-time. Emil Collins sum up that first 30.
Oh, really great first 30 minutes. I think the Beavers let themselves down a little bit in that second quarter. They looked like, to me, they had the possession and the attack going their way in that first quarter, but this Otago side, a wealth of talent in their team, and they were able to get 2 goals up on the board. So we will see a keeper change at halftime for both teams. So it'll be exciting hockey in the second half, but the Beavers are really going to have to find something here if they're going to get back in this game.
Yeah, Otago doing really well. 2-0 ahead of Canterbury at half-time in the last match of Otautahi Cup 2021. Otago 2, Beavers 0. Second half action about to begin in this match between the Otago men and the Canterbury Beavers, and it is just reward for all the attacking creativity that Otago showed in that first half to be 2-0 ahead going into the last two quarters. And of course, as you mentioned, Emile Collins, there will be changes in the goalkeepers.
Yeah, Josh White coming in for Canterbury now, an under-21 rep for New Zealand. He's in that system, working on his hockey there. And Alan Carson, one of the experienced club keepers in the Otago region, now in goal for the Otago men. So we will keep an eye on how those boys adjust to this game as they come in.
Well, they've got a bit of work to do in the field, Canterbury have, because Otago have dominated the possession, especially in that second quarter, and they just haven't given Canterbury much. Now they've got an opportunity to string something together, but just not accurate enough on that occasion. But Otago have done very well, and when Canterbury have had opportunities, they've shut down their options really quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Canterbury have been dominated in the tackle zone by Otago today, so we have seen them struggle to carry the ball forward, but Otago have had a lot more success dribbling, as we see here. A number of eliminations. Nothing resulting though. So Leslie, I do wonder what we will see here from the Beavers, if they'll press a little harder, or will they sit back and try win a little ball around midway as Zeke Bushell fires one forward.
Oh, this is terrific skill. That is fantastic. And if you ever needed any kind of inspiration, Ben was, holding his own in that one-on-one. Again, just the linking up, missing. And the end result, shot at goal.
Strong left foot there from Josh White. He gets himself right into the action, Leslie. But a good shot. Just a quick elimination move and a forehand shot whipped away at goal there from Otago as they press forward now. Dylan Thomas, it looks like, on the ball. Fires in.
It's 2 in a row for Josh White. He's done well to come on straight away in the action, and it's almost like Otago haven't even had a half-time talk. It was interesting. It was a very focused talk. I looked at them and they came back a little bit late, but certainly the game plan from Jaime Gill, it was being well thought through and articulated to his charges.
And a little frustration there from Callum McGregor as the overhead pass doesn't get enough purchase on it. So Zeke Bushell for Otago fires one forward, and again the searching ball.
Great pass, wasn't it? The vision to see that and then to accurately get it where he wanted it.
Just couldn't quite connect on the baseline there, but a great long ball forward. Otago finding some success with those longer passes now, Leslie.
And switching it up too, not always using the little pass, but as you mentioned, that long pass in. Looking for the creativity between the players here. It wasn't happening. Catching a Canterbury stick, so it'll be a corner.
Absolutely. And these Otago boys, I'm sure, will be using today's game as a warm-up for 2 big matchups tomorrow that they have. Wellington in the morning and the Canterbury Cavaliers in the afternoon, but they win another corner, Leslie.
A bit of dangerous play, was it, up into the Otago player. So again, find themselves sifting through the defensive protective gear. And they're in the huddle. Otago, what can they conjure up? 2-0 up. They'll want to get something meaningful from the set piece play. It just is so important.
Absolutely. And if I'm Otago here, I want to keep this flick or this option away from Josh White's stick. He has a very good stick hand side, so looks like Jordan Ward will be on the first bracket. He would be my bet to get this ball going at goal. Canterbury set up.
All set now.
Ball comes in, does go to Ward. He fires away.
Wow, the thud. Goal number 3. You could hear it hit the backboard.
Brilliant stuff there from Jordan Ward, and as we predicted, it would be him. And he just slings that one. So difficult there, Leslie, when they get it at that top of the backboard height on a hard flick like that. The coordination required to get a touch on that.
But the accuracy of where it's going as well, and the speed. And it depends what your runners are doing in front of you as well. But look at that. Great transition and transfer of weight from Jordan Ward.
A great drag flick. And we've seen a number of great flickers here at the inaugural Otautahi Cup, Leslie. Dane Lett for Wellington, Jack Gilbert for the Cavaliers, and in this game as well, a number of boys showing off their skills on the penalty corner bracket. Callum McGregor just sent that one the wrong way.
Yes, agreed. But they certainly, Dane let in that Wellington game had quite a few opportunities, and I think the Canterbury defence will feel pretty happy at what they were able to save.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shot a goal.
Away. Oh.
Wow, again, that seagulling player. And it is all about Otago. They are dominating possession, opportunities. Look, getting the ball back. They just seem to be a slight pace ahead about when they receive the ball. They're more accurate, keeping the ball under control, what they're going to do next and where their players are up the field.
They do look very well drilled as we watch them here. Jordan Ward fires one in, play on. And
good saves. This is fantastic.
Great goalkeeping there from Josh White. Thought there might have been a question on that ball in about the height, but
yes,
they let it play just under the knee as we watch it here. Jordan Ward just firing in. But Canterbury, hold on.
Players in the right place again. Otago just couldn't quite finish off. And I mean, it's interesting, Josh White isn't as tall as Fergus Lowen, doesn't fill the goal as much, but he looks very agile, very quick.
Absolutely. And goalies, as you know, Leslie, come in all shapes and sizes these days. It is a position that's evolved so much since the days when you were probably playing, but there have been some great goalkeeping across the games today. Otago look to reset here.
Again, denying Canterbury any significant time on the ball. Just holding possession. Oh, again, just finding themselves in behind Scott Greed.
Seems Canterbury right now are just struggling a little bit with their marking. Playing sort of a zonal scheme, but they're giving a little bit too much freedom to those Otago strikers in behind them, I think. And it's possibly costing them a few circle entries.
Well, for me, it's about not just in that circle area, it's about the accuracy and what Otago are able to complete in everything they're doing. And it's putting a lot of pressure, asking a lot of questions of this Canterbury side. It's a lovely receive, but again, there's no support play. And you can always see some yellow shirts. And when they get the ball, look how many are on screen as a support opportunities for passing. There's two players up the top there.
Yeah, they are stretching the field out for sure.
And look at that desperation to even get a sniff of getting possession there. Canterbury turn it over. 3-0. It is Otago. Deservedly so. Ooh, smacked across.
Dan Vow doing well to deflect that one away. But definitely Otago have had the advantage so far in this third quarter as they add another goal to their tally.
Jordan Ward with the double, got the stroke earlier on. And a penalty corner as well. Goes on the score sheet. James Nicholson, lovely field goal. Oh, I don't think the goalkeeper will be too thrilled to see it again. However, it's all about learning.
Great carry forward from Zach Mason there. Fancy stick work. And now ball forward, well defended by Dan Vowd again.
Oh, he's done a power of work in deep defence for Canterbury, hasn't he, Vowd?
Such a long player. The youngster who attends Lincoln University and plays for Avon in Canterbury. Zach Mason looks to win something here. Great chance. And another good save there, but hitting the foot on the deflection there, Leslie. So yeah. Canterbury survive.
Just again, players in the right place. Dan Tor that time for Otago, right on the keeper, making him feel the heat. Trying to distract him or looking for the deflection. How can Canterbury hold the ball? Not only hold the ball, but start to create. Certainly not out of it. There's plenty of time. 5 and a bit minutes left in the third quarter, and then another one.
Ball going wayward there, but you do have to feel they need something. They need a goal before this margin gets too wide with too little time. So I'm sure they'll be giving it everything, and if they can get something on the board, we will probably see possibly a keeper come on in the 11th field player on, Leslie, later in the fourth quarter.
Hey, look, one Otago player had the ball there. There were 3 Canterbury shirts, but they've still kept possession, and Motsmore made progress up the turf. A good contest. Oliver Bunny again. Quite a little injector of speed.
Turnover, great turnover from Otago. They have Nicholson on the spot.
Oh, a chance, 2-on-1.
Good
Had
keeping.
the player back there, he could have passed off, but again, Josh White smothered the shot, but it's opportunity after opportunity that Otago are creating for themselves. Good hockey from them. And at the moment, just Canterbury are just hanging on.
Not only are Otago winning when they are tackling, they're also eliminating Canterbury's tackles, so really have full control of those close encounters with the ball.
Canterbury just have to stay in those tackles just a bit longer, not give up. They've got a chance here now.
It's Houston breaking away. Kyle Houston just couldn't get around the last defender. So a number of young players on the pitch now up front. Oliver Bunny, as you said, plays his club hockey here at Harewood, and he is certainly someone who could break this game open for the Beavers.
You've just got to believe. You might be 3-0 down, but you've just got to believe that you can pick something up, turn something, and maybe a little lapse in concentration from this team that's played so well here today, Otago. Big smack into the circle this time again.
Josh White directs that one back to a player and gets away with it.
He knows it too, I think.
Absolutely. Otago just seeming to pressure from all sides of that Canterbury circle now. Aidan Perry on the ball to restart here with Scott Greed behind him, but he'll go forward. Ollie Bunny now forward to Duncan Rollinson, who sweeps in, hits the foot.
It was great running off the ball. They've got to get something, really get some shots away, start to make the Otago team feel some heat, but they are so well structured. Just looking at them now, this defensive unit in place is Greed. Is it Greed? No.
Aidan Perry, that was.
Bringing the ball down. Thought he'd made a big overlap from the... That would have been asking a bit, wouldn't it?
It certainly would be. Louis Heel into the middle. And a penalty corner, Leslie, from well outside.
Well, I didn't think it was a bad call, actually, because he had the momentum going forward and he got that stick check and the ball, took the ball off the end of his stick, and he was certainly going circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tough call getting called outside the circle, but I think when you see how he was working that ball,
into
good
the
stuff.
D there, yeah. Great call from Ben Grant there.
Well,
Ollie Bunny will inject with Greed, Rollinson and Vowd on the brackets. Scott Greed does have the straight hit option, and it looks like Vowd will be on bracket 1. We know he has the flick, so we may see a variation with Greed here, Leslie. Ball comes to the top, it will be Greed.
Street, great save. Hasn't had a lot of work to do in goal. Certainly swapping at half-time.
Alan Carson, that was.
Really good stuff.
Canterbury still pushing forward, though, through Ollie Bunny.
It's a good period of play. They have been starved of any attack ball, really. And getting another penalty corner.
The youngster.
They're backing themselves. This is the sniff that they need. We saw them get 3 in a row, didn't we, penalty corners? But you've got to make something. You've got to take something from it. They'll know that more than anybody will.
Scott Greed will check into the huddle as well. Dan Vowd there, of course.
Just trying to get a little ball in behind the runner and maybe get a deflection in. Or
yeah, that is what I was thinking there. You have those flickers. Can you deliver something into an area where a player can make it more difficult for this unit on the line? Change the direction, change the height of the ball, throw something different at them.
Yep.
Even off that Scott Greed sweep option we saw earlier. Goes to Vowd.
Oh, good one. That's a goal. That's exactly what you said, Emile Collins, and they've come away, Canterbury, rewarded for that attacking ploy.
Oh,
Vowd.
great corner from Vowd there. Played his school hockey at St Kitts College in Auckland. And look at this one, whips it high into the net. Not much Alan Carson could do there. He went full extension, but didn't have the reach to get to that one. So just like we said, before the third quarter is done, the Beavers get the goal they wanted, Leslie.
Yep, they needed it. They had to be the next ones to score, that's for sure. And that they did. Have been denied so much time on the ball through some excellent play.
And I'm sure now Sanjay Gunda on the sideline will be trying to pull out all the stops in our upcoming quarter-time break and open this game up in the fourth quarter.
That wide, and then a searching ball into the defence. Catches a Canterbury stick, so again it will keep possession with Otago. Keep the ball locked in into the last minute of this third quarter.
Swan with the carry forward.
Good
Drops it
stuff
off
from
for
him. This is
Grimshaw.
much better from Canterbury in the last 5 minutes, isn't it?
Absolutely, and they've got time here as they approach the 25 PNOers.
Pushing up hard. Team wearing red and black and searching for that opportunity inside the circle. But again, a lovely tackle. But
Turnover
straight
here.
back. Oh, what a save.
Save from Carson.
Oh, super stuff.
Fantastic goalkeeping there. Had to go to the dive, the quick reflexes with the left hand to get that one, but I think Ben Grant had a question maybe about the ball hitting a foot there possibly, Leslie.
Yeah, gee, they heard the thud as it hit the protective equipment of Carson and goal. What a save, though. Gosh, we've been treated right throughout the day, just some outstanding goalkeeping. It's been a feature in all the matches.
Almost an individual sport, goalkeeping within a team.
Yep, good call, that.
So, will we see Dan Vowd again on that bracket? He is certainly
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
generating some revolutions. Here he goes, but mistrapped by Swan. Looks
Can
to
he get the shot
create.
away? Oh, well defended. Oh, no, they're calling for another corner.
Otago have some questions there for Ben Grant.
4 seconds left on the clock in quarter 3. Even if the hooter went and the penalty corner's been awarded, they'd play it out. And the players that all come up, 4 seconds now, they're all trotting up, the Canterbury players, try and keep the ball inside that circle, even if it's first up defended.
Well, a goal here, Leslie, would turn this game on its head. They go to Swan.
Oh,
And a
not fit.
corner.
Another one. I'm not sure that was trapped outside the circle, but anyway,
Yeah.
they're going to get another opportunity. The hooter's gone for the end of the third quarter, so there is some drama.
Ben Grant deemed that one dangerous there, popping up off an Otago player. So I'm sure we will see probably just the straight flick from Vowd here at the third time of asking.
All right, so can the Otago defence hold out a third penalty corner in a row in quick succession? And it goes in this time. Shot away, is it? Through the legs. And well smothered.
Great
Really
keeping.
good work. That is the end of the third quarter, and a lovely little bit of drama at the end as Canterbury tried to close the gap that Otago have on them. But they go away to the break after 3 quarters. It is Otago 3-1 over the Beavers, but a much better third quarter from the team wearing red and black. Last 15 coming up on day one of the Otautahi Cup 2021 here at Ngā in Christchurch. And this is Otago up against the Canterbury Beavers. And Otago deservedly up 3-1, but Canterbury coming back into it. Emil Collins in the last 5 minutes of that third quarter. A flurry of penalty corners, a goal, when seemingly Otago were well in charge. But that's what can happen in the hockey.
Absolutely, Leslie. And unfortunately, this will be the last quarter of coverage on skysportnext from us. But plenty more games to be played tomorrow. Make sure to get down and watch if you are in the Canterbury region. Great hockey to be played here. And the Beavers, Leslie, now back into this game a bit. And I wonder how early, or even if Sanjay will look to take the keeper off for the man advantage, and how early he will do that in this final quarter.
Well, from seemingly not a lot of opportunity, Canterbury, they've turned the ball over in a crucial area, and this is where they've been so expert here. Otago, oh, what a way to start the final quarter for Otago. Dispossessed, Canterbury were, and they race down, they do, Otago, and hurt the team that was already behind further. 4-1, Otago.
Dylan Thomas just carries strong here, eliminates two, and finds his teammate James Nicholson for his second of the day. James will be relishing that one. A little freebie back post after a great piece of play and a great pass from Dylan Thomas. So Otago again, Leslie, cut open this Canterbury defence and find themselves 4-1 up.
See, Jaime Gill, what did he say to them at the end of that third quarter? Because they have come out. Just one little mistake there by Canterbury, and they have hurt and made them pay.
Absolutely. So Otago again, straight back on position. Great win by Louis Hill, though, on this sideline.
Turned him inside out to try and trap it. He did well. No, he's saying it was up on his knee, but umpire says different.
So Louis Hill now with the ball. Has Houston calling for it on the far side, but Hill just drops it back to Aidan Perry. The Beavers now, by way of Callum McGregor, will attack down the far side. Houston to the corner. Turning, but can't win the free hit, Leslie.
Well, if we're going to have some drama, it has to be Canterbury scoring the next goal, doesn't it?
Yep.
It really does. But they have come back, Otago. What a stinger. 4-1.
Yeah, 5-1 down at this point would probably be insurmountable. But
shot a goal!
Off the post.
And just how it can change in a flash.
Great look there from Rollinson, Duncan Rollinson that was. So he will be kicking himself, I'm sure, as that chance just went off the post.
Wow, that nearly went right up to the halfway, that overhead. That was fantastic.
And Duncan right back on the ball. Tries to go forward, but defended nicely. So Canterbury now with a bit of life, Leslie. They are attacking down that left-hand side as they look at it, and they've had a good couple minutes of possession here in the attacking half.
Well, they've got nothing to lose now, have they? I mean, they've got to press up, push forward. A good 1-2. Calling for a corner. Oh, a little back between the legs, just a little bit too clever. But they'll keep possession.
Just looking to slip that onto a foot.
Oh, brilliant. You could see Houston there putting the hand up, the sun.
But Ben Grant blows that one down.
Tough call. But you've got to be ambitious, I suppose.
He had the space over there and they wanted to use it, but didn't link up. So Otago now will settle it down. Jordan Ward right underneath our booth here. Fires forward.
What a ball. It has that Canterbury defence scrambling. It's a corner and a little mistake in there again. Callum McGregor just catching it on his foot and immediately back under pressure, Canterbury. And their breakaway, their turnover has been fantastic, hasn't it, Otago?
Oh, it's put so much pressure on this defence to organise their counter control of the Beavers' counter control, that is. And they have won a lot of corners and got a lot of results. But Leslie, here we have Jordan Ward and James Nicholson both on the top looking for their hat-tricks, so we'll see.
Who's going to get it first? It's the Jordan and James show so far on the score sheet.
Might have had a wee coin toss in their huddle there to see who's going to get 3 first.
Well, let's see what Canterbury can do.
Comes to Ward.
Oh, is that... Oh, good, brave stuff happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brave, courageous stuff in deep defence for Canterbury.
Thought that might have been a stroke there, Leslie.
Yeah,
the Otago players asking the question, but might have just been the cricket glove on the hand there, on the stick.
Certainly got it. It was a pretty big thud, wasn't it?
Yeah, right back at it though, Otago. Get the ball in quickly and win a corner. So I'm sure we'll see more of the same. Maybe Nicholson this time from the top.
Yeah, proper young players walking back to the top of the castle for Otago.
And a lot of these Otago flicks have been going down the left-hand side as the penalty corner bracket looks at it. So Nicholson on first bracket this time. Comes to him.
Oh, good save.
Flick down the middle, and Josh White deals with that one easily.
He's not the tallest of keepers, is he, Josh White?
Certainly gets to the ground quickly, uses that
bounces around.
That frame to his advantage.
Yep. A lot of chat.
Otago now once again get a penetration on the baseline.
Look at that, 4 passes and it's in the circle again. And they're just keeping it pinned. Great body position there, just to, under close scrutiny from 2 Canterbury defenders, still get the shot away or the pass.
Jordan Ward will carry forward, right at Aidan Perry, slip a ball in, dealt with, but not well enough, Leslie, as Otago get their 3rd penalty corner now in just a couple minutes.
It's relentless, isn't it, at the moment? They're pouring a wave in gold and blue on this Canterbury defence, and they are not able to execute their tackles accurately enough to be able to come out with the ball and then distribute it where they want to. There's just no time. It's superior from Otago at the moment.
Otago
Absolutely.
Do have a wee variation, a wee slip variation. So we'll see if it's that or if it's straight from Ward. Well run down by Canterbury. Brave running there.
It is brave. It is very brave. And the quick counter-attacks happening on. They've got a player up high and is sealed off again. Well, they seem to know where they have to be as to what options Canterbury have got, and they read it just that little bit earlier.
Yeah, and as you've said, Otago have been very accurate in their passing, but they've also chosen the right channels. I thought that ball going forward possibly should have gone down the right foot of the player, but they went on the inside and it was picked off easily.
Yep.
So Canterbury will try again inside the...
Oh, and telegraphed again. And
a card here. So...
having the ball away, was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Possibly a bit too deliberate there from Canterbury, the Beavers.
So they have their opposition reduced to 10 to Canterbury. Can they get something from this? 8 minutes left in the match.
Vowed. Didn't get a hold of that one. And it will be tied up at the top of the circle. But I think Otago here, Leslie, just content to hold the ball.
Do you think so? You think they won't want more? Inflict a bit more pain?
We'll have to see. Certainly some big games coming up for them tomorrow, so you may be right. They may want a little more work attacking the goal.
They're certainly going to sit back while they've only got 10 anyway.
So here we go. Zeke Bushell will try to check in here on the far side. One of the young guns playing at the back for Otago. But this back 3 for Otago, led by Ward today, has been nice and calm, Leslie, haven't they?
Yeah, especially down that left side, which is always awkward, isn't it? Oh, that was creating danger on his own player. Bit of friendly fire.
James just couldn't see that one. And
again, it could be the sun
It is nice and low now.
Bursting through the clouds and making some blue sky.
So just bunts that one over the sideline there. And Duncan Rowanson, one of the young players for the Beavers, will restart it. Vowed now, working with Houston on that far side.
I also think Matt Moore down in that deep defence for Otago has been immense. He's got a white bandage on his right knee, and I think he's in working with Jordan Ward has been an anchor for them as well.
And he seems to have not come off the puck almost the whole game
Exactly.
as well. So
yeah.
possibly playing with a bit of a banged up knee there, but has played full minutes today.
But he looks to be an older player, and you know we know that they have great craft when it comes to knowing just how much they have to do.
Absolutely. It is a bit like golf, really. The more you've played, the more you know. And there are some older players on display this weekend who have certainly got a lot of knowledge for the game.
Well, they're great to have in the back there, aren't they? You know, you've got the young, eager, fast young players with the quick legs up front. Here's another
penetration.
But look at this, he got the ball back. That is brilliant. And almost just sitting back, Canterbury looking at him. Finn Ward.
He is an exciting player to watch, Finn.
But they certainly have taken the game and dominated and controlled. They may have let Canterbury in for one near the end of the third quarter, but boy, did they come back and make Canterbury pay at the beginning of the fourth.
Certainly did. And as you said, Otago will continue to push forward and try to stretch this lead.
I just love their teamwork. I think, you know, while it's been two people who've scored the goals, Jordan Ward and James Nicholson, it's been such a team effort to get the ball down there, and the relentless running, some of the pinpoint accurate passes, the structure. They've certainly adhered to the game plan superbly.
They certainly have. So Dan Vowd.
Heard the big call there from Matt Moore, my ball, and he just stood right up and took it.
Dan Vowd slung that one half a field, but Matt Moore was just waiting under it. So Charlie Swan.
Hey, look at that. Fantastic work.
Dispossessed again at Canterbury.
Patrick Ward doing the hard yards for Otago. Just hassled and hassled, got the ball back. Now they are having another shot at goal inside the circle. Oh, good work. Josh White coming right out. Shot at goal, empty goal. Goal number 5.
Yeah, Josh White just did a great job to come out and contest, but looks like he might have got himself a little tangled up there and couldn't get back. And it fired away into the roof there. So Otago.
What a finish. What a finish.
Fantastic stuff as we watch it here. Yep, Josh White does get a little tangled, and then Scott Greed, there's no stopping that. 5-1 now for the blue and gold.
4 minutes in the game, and they're looking for more, Otago. And look at those runners up front. They're running hard into their positions.
I think Otago today will be well warmed up for their big matches tomorrow versus Wellington in the morning and the Canterbury Cavaliers in the afternoon. But inside 5 minutes here, still a little bit of hockey to be played on this Saturday evening.
Well, let's not forget, you know, this is the A Otago team, and they're playing in essence of the B Canterbury team. But they have certainly shown that they have got a structure that will test both Wellington and the Canterbury Cavaliers. And this will give them some confidence heading into those matches, to know that if they keep the ball and be accurate and finish their chances, which they've done superbly well, haven't they? I mean, there's been some great goals.
And that is what you want to see with this springtime hockey excitement, and that's what we've been given across the board today.
Oh, we have. It's been terrific.
So the Beavers now, inside the final 3 minutes, will try to get a little confidence for their matches tomorrow. Maybe build something, try to get a goal back.
It's better. This is much better from Canterbury. They've strung 4 passes to get it, just puts a bit of pressure. But in the end, an accurate tackle makes the difference.
So
by Otago again.
Thomas carries forward.
Oh, it's almost like he called for the ball.
Yeah, Dan Vowd just taking that one and going forward. Jordan Ward spins through the middle. The Ward brothers, all three of them in this game, I'm sure.
And both teams full of running. You know, there's just under 2 minutes to go and they're both still running hard at the ball. Putting pressure on the receiver like this. Look at that, stolen. The intent was huge. And they came away with it. Fantastic stuff from Otago. I've loved the way they've come out and played the...
Yeah, absolutely. They really have put on a show today. And as you said, essentially a Canterbury B side, but the Beavers have been dominant in the second tier of the national hockey tournaments over the last years.
There's a chance here now, but...
Swan dispossessed again by that Otago defence.
So confident when they come through the Otago defenders and just step up and wait for the ball just to come off the stick just that little bit too far. Well, this is a hard yakka now for Canterbury.
Yeah, and Otago have done a really good job. Shot away, deflected. Great save.
Oh, penalty corner danger, the ball in the air.
So Otago, I think, have done a very good job of... They haven't really been whistled for any of their tackles today, Leslie. They've been nice and clean. They've won the ball, haven't caught too much stick. And that's really helped them in that defensive area. And I think it shows on the scoreboard that they've certainly been the defensive team today.
It's a really good point about how clean the tackling's been. And the fact that there hasn't been much whistle, we've sort of made a point of that right throughout all the games. The players are just so happy to be playing. What will they finish? 49 seconds left on the clock. They lead 5-1 Otago over the Canterbury Beavers.
Jordan Ward on that first bracket, and we may see him have a crack at a third here. It will be Ward. Fires away.
Good defence. All not finished off, but wearing all the gear.
Dan Vowd with the mask on, blocking his vision, carries forward. Finn Ward into the circle. And a free hit to Canterbury, so...
That's how it will finish. You can hear the... Oh, sealed off, look at that. Just when you think you've got it away and maybe in the dying seconds they won't be having another foray. They exhibit all the skills that have shown why they have taken this game, Otago. This has been brilliant from them.
Well, Leslie, it has been a great Saturday of hockey here on Sky Sport Next, but as it finishes, Otago 5, the Canterbury Beavers 1. That will be it for today's matches in the first day of the Otautahi Cup.
Yep, absolutely. And high fives all round for Otago. They have played right from the opening whistle right to the end and put an enormous amount of pressure on the Beavers. And through their set-piece play, through the stroke, through the PC, they come away 5-1. And as you said, in the final game of day one of Otautahi Cup 2021, because this will continue on in the future, the Cup to be played for. It's been some brilliant hockey and the sun shining on the players as they exchange greetings. Emil Collins, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, Leslie.
And from Ngā Punawai in Christchurch, great news for Otago. Good win for them over the Canterbury Beavers, and they've won by 5-1.